For years, we've all been sold this one big idea about success. You've got to master your time. But what if that idea, the one our entire culture of productivity is built on, is just wrong? I mean, you know the drill, right? To get more done, you have to manage every single minute. So we buy the fancy planners, we download all the apps, and we try to squeeze every last drop out of the day. We're constantly telling ourselves that the clock is our biggest enemy. And right there, that's the lie. See, the problem isn't that you're running out of time. The real problem is that your attention is being stolen, and most of the time, you don't even realize it's happening. This is the huge mindset shift we need to make. We're obsessed with this myth that time is scarce. But think about it. Every single person gets the exact same 24 hours. The resource that's actually rare, the one that's truly in short supply, that's our attention. Time just is. But attention, that's what gives your life direction. Wherever you point it, that's where your life is going to go. And look, this is way more than just some little productivity hack. This is a fundamental change in how we need to approach our entire lives. Because what you choose to pay attention to doesn't just decide what you do, it literally determines who you become. And hey, this isn't some new age idea. Over a century ago, the father of modern psychology, a guy named William James, he absolutely nailed it. He said, "My experience is what I agree to attend to." Just let that sink in for a second. Your entire reality, everything you experience, is sculpted moment by the things you focus on. And that leads us to a really, really important question we all have to ask ourselves. Because your attention is like a muscle. Once you train it, it becomes automatic. So what are you training your attention to chase every single day without even thinking about it? Are you training it to find insight and connection, or are you training it to chase distraction and noise? Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because this isn't just a personal struggle. We need to stop seeing distraction as some kind of personal failure of willpower and start looking at it the way an epidemiologist would, as a contagious phenomenon spreading through our society. Let's give it a name: socially transmitted distraction. It's this idea that these patterns of not being able to focus, of constant interruption, they spread from person to person, a lot like a virus. The problem isn't just your phone. It's the culture of distraction that's all around you. So how does a virus like this actually spread? Well, first, it's simple exposure. You're in a meeting, you see your colleague check their phone, and boom, suddenly you feel that itch to do the same. Then comes normalization. Everybody's doing it, so this constant interruption starts to feel normal, even professional. And finally, repetition locks it all in. Those distracted habits become the default culture for the whole group. And just like any virus, right, it thrives under certain conditions. High-contact environments like open offices or those never-ending group chats, they're the perfect breeding grounds. Our own immunity, our mental defenses, are at their lowest when we're tired, stressed out, or bored. And to top it all off, the virus itself is constantly mutating, with every new app and every new notification feature designed to hook us in. Okay, so that's the diagnosis. That's the bad news. But here's the good news. You don't fight a virus with willpower alone. You fight it with a smart, strategic plan. So let's get into the treatment, a practical, step-by-step way to take back your focus. First things first, you can't fix what you can't see. We've got to build awareness. Most of us track our time, but almost nobody tracks their attention. So for just 1 week, try this simple attention audit. Just break your day into a few big blocks. For each block, jot down what you were supposed to be focusing on, what the quality of your attention was it deep or was it scattered, and then how you felt afterward, energized or totally drained. And hey, no judging yourself. The goal here is just to see the pattern. All right, next up, we have to talk about our relationship with stimulation. You've probably heard of a dopamine detox, right? It's all over the internet. But honestly, that's kind of a myth. Going cold turkey is extreme and it just doesn't last. The real goal is what you might call dopamine hygiene. It's not about totally cutting yourself off. It's about smart, sustainable regulation. You don't ban sugar from your life forever. You learn to manage it. It's the exact same idea for those cheap dopamine hits you get from notifications and scrolling. And this brings us to what is probably our most powerful tool. If distraction really is a virus, then you need to create quarantine zones for your attention. That's what deep work blocks are. These are scheduled, totally isolated periods of time, maybe just 90 minutes, where you protect your mind from any and all contamination. We're talking one task, no inputs, no context switching. This is how you start to rebuild that focus muscle. So when you pull all these pieces together, you start to see that this is about so much more than just being productive or checking things off a list. This is really about making a conscious choice about the quality of your life and the quality of your own thoughts. We have this belief that huge breakthroughs only come from wrestling with incredibly difficult problems, that we need more effort, more information, more hustle. But what if the real enemy of insight, of creativity, of genuine understanding isn't difficulty at all? The real enemy is constant stimulation. It turns out that boredom isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's that quiet, empty space that our brains desperately need to connect ideas, to solve problems in the background, and to generate those aha moments. By filling every spare second with noise and content, we are literally robbing ourselves of our own best thinking. So, at the end of the day, this was never about finding more time. You already have all the time there is. The real question, the one that is going to define your future, is this. In a world that is designed to shatter your focus into a million pieces, what is so important to you that you will protect your attention for it?